With the NBA draft fast approaching, the Cleveland Cavaliers are eyeing opportunities to solidify their roster. After a solid 2024 campaign, Cleveland now stands at a crossroads. Should they reinforce their front court with this sleeper pick? Meet Vladislav Goldin, a 7'1" Russian center who might just be the defensive anchor Cleveland could use. He's big, he's physical, and he's vastly underrated. Today, we're diving deep into whether or not Vladislav Goldin is the right pick for the Cavs. But before we dig into why Vladislav remains a possibility, do your boy a favor and smash that like button, subscribe to keep the NBA content coming, and hit that notification bell so you stay locked in all offseason. Who is Vladislav Goldin? Vladislav Goldin isn't your typical draft prospect. Born in Nachik, Russia, Goldin began his basketball journey overseas before making his way to the US to play for Putnam Science Academy in Connecticut. He later transferred to Florida Atlantic University, yes, that same FAU team that made a miraculous Final Four run in 2023, before ultimately ending his collegiate career with Michigan as a fifth-year senior. And in his final season as an amateur, Goldin would put up averages of 16.6 points, 7 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and 1.4 blocks while completing over 60.7% of his field goals. But his impact went far beyond the stat sheet, and he's more than just numbers. He's a paint presence, a smart screener, and yes, a legit rim protector. His combination of soft hands, mobility for his size, and rim running make him an intriguing option for NBA teams looking to bolster their front court. He anchored FAU's interior defense and became a go-to option in the paint on offense, and wound up doing much the same for Michigan in his lone season for the Wolverines. So why would the Cavs be interested? Let's talk fit. Cleveland already has Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, two elite defenders, but behind them, depth is shaky, and that's putting it mildly. Over the past 2 seasons, they have primarily relied on Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen to switch off at backup 5, and a front court rotation of Dean Wade, DeAndre Hunter, and George Niang in place of Hunter before he was acquired. Sprinkle in a bit of Tristan Thompson, and you have a pretty nauseating depth chart beyond the starters. And let me be clear, this is not necessarily a knock on Wade or Hunter, but they're not bigs. The Cavs could use at least one more solid, dependable big on the roster. Cleveland struggled to maintain an imposing interior presence when Mobley or Allen were off the floor. They need a third big who's long, mobile, and coachable. What Goldin brings. Goldin's strengths align well with what Cleveland needs off the bench. Let's break it down. First up, pick and roll finishing. At the collegiate level, Goldin thrived in pick and roll sets, catching lobs, rolling hard, and finishing efficiently. With Darius, Garland, or Donovan Mitchell, that synergy could be deadly. Secondary playmakers like Max Strus, Craig Porter Jr., and Ty Jerome can make this fit even more deadly. This is a team that is heavily reliant on the pick and roll, and being able to function as a reliable roll man should be a prerequisite for any big on the roster up to this point. He is Goldin, no pun intended, around the rim, knocking down 68% of his field goals around the rim, which accounted for over 72% of his total field goals. He appears to be an elite finisher, and the Cavs could always use more of those. He is a very efficient scorer around the rim with a variety of post moves, toughness, and an incredible feel for scoring against contact at the rim off of a roll. The Russian big man generates a lot of his point production in the post, where he scored 0.97 points per possession and placed within the 71st percentile. He has no problem posting up on the block and going to work against his defender. You can dump it off to him and feel fairly confident that he will get the job done. Goldin has the physical presence to bully smaller defenders and establish deep position and seal them off while there, and is particularly effective in big-to-big pick and roll situations where he uses his strength and positioning to finish at a high percentage. This could bode well for any lineups featuring himself alongside Evan Mobley. He screens effectively and has proven himself as a productive role man, knowing when to slip and where to seal. Goldin is quite the second chance opportunity creator as well. His potential impact on that end will be a large part of his role, especially in punishing smaller, shooting heavy lineups. He's averaged over 2 offensive rebounds per game in 4 straight seasons at the collegiate level. That can be attributed to his composure, toughness, and clever positioning. Rim protection. Defensively, Goldin has shown himself to be a reliable drop coverage big who protects the rim with the use of the rule of verticality and solid awareness rather than elite athleticism. That said, he doesn't have to rely on drop coverage. He's quite comfortable and mobile due to his long stride. Goldin just has to become more active while in drop and know when to give his assignment less space to operate with. Despite being a little more passive than you'd like at times in the drop, Goldin understands how well his rotations must be to ensure that he can contest against either ball handler or the play finisher. He appears to be a disciplined shot blocker up to this point, as he averaged over 1.2 blocks per game in each of his final 3 college seasons. He had a block rate of 5.2% this past season with Michigan and has finished at 5% or higher in 4 of his 5 seasons at the college level. The young big's motor was always on display and could help him turn into a reliable defensive anchor. He consistently contested shots and deterred opponents from venturing into the paint. It's not crazy to think that he could be a major disruptor in the painted area at the next level. The dude is rarely out of position and uses his frame to contest without fouling. He has great spatial awareness, which helps him from getting beat away from the ball and against cuts. His use of tags and quick checking to control his assignment has led to him avoiding many backdoor cuts. That's a pretty solid strategy when thinking about adjusting to the motion-based offenses he will see on a night-to-night basis at the NBA level. He is adept at using his length to close angles against passers, and even when he has his assignment under control, he's looking to close angles and shrink the interior. The dude is a true 7-footer, having been measured at 7 foot in socks with a rangy wingspan of 7'5" 1/4, the 5th longest measurement in the draft combine. That's not nothing, especially for a Cavaliers team that can use some additional size off the bench in the front court. Overall, defensively, he's not elite laterally, but his verticality and awareness in drop coverage make him a solid anchor. Concerns: of course, no prospect is perfect. Goldin isn't switchable on defense and may struggle with NBA speed early on. He has a slow first step and doesn't look comfortable playing on the perimeter when he's put against a scorer. This could be rather worrisome because it could make it feasible that NBA teams will force a switch to put him on an island against ball handlers. Not ideal, and let me be clear, he has the mobility. It's the pace and speed that could legit give him problems in the early going. He must be more composed when he's facing jab steps or shooters who are already spotting up, and he must learn to not bite on the pump fake and force a rotation. And in regard to defending the 3-point line, it's not as if he doesn't have the length to effectively close out. It's just the lack of lateral quickness. In order to circumvent that, he has to make the right decisions when closing out, as scorers will gladly attack him off the dribble or take away his length and collapse the defense for a paint touch or a much better shot via another kick-out pass. That's one of the only ways he'll be able to compensate for the lack of burst and lateral quickness. He also has limited offensive creation outside of the paint and struggles to create clean scoring angles out of closeouts, and not showing creativity like pump or pass fakes before finishing a play. These could be potential red flags for front offices and could take away from some of his scoring prowess at the NBA level. His general lack of creativity will likely be an area of focus or concern for NBA scouts. Also, Goldin will enter the NBA as a large question mark in terms of spacing, but his mechanics are consistent and he does show a high arc and release. Even if he's bothered by a quick closeout, he can shoot over the defender with ease. I mean, at 7 foot, you kind of have to. That's something that can be built upon. Overall, most mocks have Goldin in the late second round or going undrafted entirely. But for a Cavs team with a late pick and limited cap flexibility, he's the kind of low-risk, high-upside player worth betting on. If the Cavaliers want to maintain defensive dominance and develop a young big who fits their identity, Vladislav Goldin should be on the radar. He won't wow you with flash, but he brings grit, size, and growth potential. What do you think, Cavs fans? Should Kobe Altman take a swing on the Russian rim runner? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Cavs draft content. Go Cavs.